All right, so we are out on the strip, and look at these clouds standing right beneath the Hard Rock guitar on the strip. And I'm wondering if it's going to rain. It rained for about 35 seconds at my house today. So we're going to take a walk. We're going to go indoors if we need to, if it starts to rain. But right now, I think we should be okay. Welcome in. Look at those clouds. Very overcast. Birds fan, what's up, Ed? Bud, what's going on? Alan, Debbie, what's going on? Looks like we may get some rain tonight. See to the north, we got some blue skies. Josh, what's up, buddy? Madison, how you doing? To the north, we got some blue skies, but turn to the south, we got some pretty dark skies there. So I just need to get my microphone on here. I'm like, something seems off, and I don't have my microphone hooked up. Oh look, it's one of those trucks that got me in trouble on the other one. It's pouring. Oh geez. So I did not wait around. I actually hit that tonight before I came up here, and uh-oh. All right, well, I guess tonight we are going to be going without the microphone because I don't have the little jack. Wonder where that is. Pouring in PA. You know, we were talking about that, me and Jay, and that's one of the things we kind of miss is some cozy rainy days being out here. So it rained at our house for about the time it took me to get from my backyard upstairs to grab her and down, we maybe 35 seconds of rain today. Well, the mic helps with the copyrights, so it does drown out a little bit in the copyright area, but whatever. We'll deal with that if we have to deal with that. So I did hit Treasure Island up, and the line is absolutely insane. And security's all over the place in there, keeping people in check. And I was able to go to the kiosk and put my player's card in the kiosk, and then I was able to just activate my those people were in a rush. Activate my 200 hours in free play. You know what happens here is these people are going to turn, and I don't want to get run down. So I activated my 200 hours. I put it in a machine, and I made $100. So that's good. No, so what you have to do at Treasure Island is, for this promotion, you have to go to the kiosk. You put your player's card in a player's card kiosk, and you can activate the promotion from there. Then when you go to the machine, you activate, you put in your card in the machine, and then you put your passcode in or whatever, and you activate it from there. So the initial activation has to be done at either the player's card desk or a kiosk if you already have a player's card. Those people that are in line that I showed yesterday and you've been seeing probably online all over the place, Those people don't have a player's card, so they're waiting to get their player's card. Ryan, what's going on? Well, it's Mr. Reverend Rob. Thinking he's funny about cracking some Eagles jokes earlier. Was that a dress? Oh my God, that is a dress. I don't want to go back. I thought they were carrying like a banner or something like that. But like normal, if I go to like MGM or Caesars, I put my card in, put my 4-digit PIN in, and then it'll say how much I have in free play and stuff like that. And then you just hit activate, and it you just do it from there. Yeah, most of what Rob says isn't funny when it comes to that stuff. Sometimes you get he cracks some funny jokes about the Eagles, but most of the time Rob's not funny. He's just upset because his team hasn't won a Super Bowl in like 10 years. So Casino Royale has a nice players club too. So they just added their foot-long hot dog is $4.99 now. So at Casino Royale, if you get their players card, the first $20 loss they give back to you. So when you put $20 in the machine, if you run it down to zero, they'll credit you $20 in free play right away, which ain't too bad. So when I did that and I got their players card, what I did, I just went and did like a max bet. Did like 5 spins or 4 spins on a $5 max bet. Got my $20 back and then played like my normal, 50-cent dollar spin. So we're gonna stay out here tonight. We're gonna keep walking on the, stay outside and walk on the strip and see if we hit any rain. I don't know. I think it said like a 15 to 20% chance of rain. Yeah, they've been out in full force, man. Is it humid? It's not too humid. It's like, it's humid for Vegas, but it's 33% rain, 33% humidity, I'm sorry. So yeah, for Vegas, that's a pretty high humidity. I got a little bit of stickiness going on here, sweating a little bit. I think we can all agree that the Cowboys suck, 100%. But you know what? It's their year, man. The Cowboys' year this year. So they'll be up there, all the way up to missing the playoffs again. Birds fan being with the funny. The piano bar outside Harris, that's a fun spot to hang out. So this is where Birds fan for life and I met here at Carnival Court. I was out streaming. Jay was in there hanging out, and he was on my stream kind of heckling me a little bit. Um, so, but then it was funny because him and Jay had known each other for years from like hanging in the same clubs in Philly and stuff like that. So, pretty funny. So so we just put out a cool little video about the Zooks. They're not free no more. So if you haven't seen, you know, with those Zooks driverless cars, they were free. I mean, I'm sure you all saw that for, you know, everybody was touting that they had free rides going on. And on August 10th, they started charging. So we made a video. We compared all the pricing with Uber. So go check that out. I came walking in from streaming, and you heard me talking. Who was the sober one, Bert Ed? Me or you? I remember what happened. Yeah, so when the Zooks started offering the free rides, they weren't that bad to get a Zooks. I rode them probably 5 times. And then once they started really promoting heavily in the last 2 or 3 months or so, it became almost impossible to get a free ride. I don't understand why this keeps blurring in and out. "35 is the speed limit." Let me see if I can figure out. I'm turning the autofocus off. Is it on? There we go. We're just going to leave it like that. I don't understand why that was doing that. I probably missed that when they did their update. So, this is the Luke Combs Category 10. This will be open in fall 2026. I imagine, so you can see they're painting up there. They still have the a lot of this walkway and scaffold up here. I think it's going to open probably in October. This way they can get a start and get people in there for F1. Yeah, I know. That was just so weird how it just kept, like, it was like, what are you even trying to focus on? So, I haven't been, Ed, to Omnia Day Club. What I don't like about it is during the day when you go past it, you can hear all the music like super loud on the strip. It's really annoying. So we'll take a little walk down through the Link Promenade here. Is that getting focused again, or is that just I need new glasses? I think I need new glasses. It's almost like every month after you turn 50, your eyes degrade a little bit, or at least for me. This is Rob's spot. Rob loves the candy store here, I Love Sugar. Rob had spent enough money in I Love Sugar to keep them in business for the next 10 years. Now I'm going to go in here, but I am not going over to the gummy section. We are banned from that section, especially when Rob is on. Some jaw breakers. What's everyone's favorite candy? This is like that pure sugar, that rock candy, right? Oh, and they didn't like it. Yeah, I wasn't. Like I said, I'm not a club guy, and you know, I definitely would not be going and hanging out in a pool club. I don't like pools and I don't like clubs. I do like sour stuff. I wonder what's in this bag. It's a mystery. $20. I'm not gonna pay $20 to find it. This is a mystery box. $30. Butterscotch beer, non-alcoholic, which is good. Not that kind of candy, Ed. Gummy watermelons. Here's a little bit of gummy. It's liquid filled for you. These things are always crazy. The little gummy. I like that athletic brewing company. Um, they make a lot of really good IPAs that taste like they really are IPAs. But they also have like this sea salt and lime one for the summertime that is really good. Some Pez. Pez are safe, right? I don't think Rob's gonna get all crazy with a Pez dispenser. They do have some really cool ones. I like the troll ones. So but I like the retro candies myself. I like to always look at them. Brings back memories to back when we were kids. You would probably like the sea salt and lime mud. It's a sour. Madison, thank you for the gifts. So I told you guys before on the way I stream through Prism, it does not show the gifts when they pop up. So the mods always help us out. So Madison, thank you so much. Birds fan, he likes it just a plain old Hershey bar. This is not your store then, man. Watermelon blow pops are pretty good. I like the grape ones. I like grape flavored candies. The Laffy Taffies. Although cherry, I really do like cherry also. All right, now next time, Rob, you come out, we'll get you to try one of these, man. This is a scorpion sucker. It's got a scorpion there. Kevin, what's going on? This one's got the worm. Jalapeno. Ed, I'm with you on them, man. They are my absolute favorite candy of all time. Next time you come out, you're gonna have to bring some of them out because I can't really find them anywhere except here, and they're like $5 here. So we can get these, and we can get these here, right? The king size, and that's like $5. So I'm not paying like over $1 a piece. Now they used to sell them at the dollar store down the street from me, but they stopped selling them there. I like the Chico's. Some cowtails. Who likes the cowtails? I never had the strawberry ones. I don't know. Honey bun. That's not like retro. I know, man. Like that is really expensive. Now this is the spot I really like. I really like the bulk candy, right? Because then you can just get all the stuff you like yourself, you know? Ooh, chiclet gum. I don't even see chiclets no more around. But look, you can get all the Pez. So if you really like raspberry Pez or strawberry, lemon, grape, sour green apple, any of these flavors, you can fill up a whole bag, and it's going to be $4.24 for a quarter pound or $8.48 for a full pound, right? And it can be mixed, so you don't have to get all of it. But I don't know. I don't think that's bad of a price. Oh yeah, you went to the other one. What's that called? It's Sugar or something like that. This is the one up by the Link Promenade, Alan. Now, when it comes to jelly beans, I'm kind of like a Homer Simpson. I'd be just under here eating the sour cherries, all the sour ones. I love the sour jelly beans. Choco Dials. Oh, that's funny, Alan, because I didn't even get a notification. So I like the gummy stuff, but the gummy stuff doesn't like me, right? It gets stuck in the teeth, and that's probably why I've always had to go to the get so many teeth pulled. All right, let's get out of here. Oh, this entrance is closed. But it's a cool tunnel to walk through. That's the dirty section over there. That's those gummy stuff over there, and we're not going over there. We got to stay far away from that section of the store. Sour gummies are cool. Look at all you guys with your notifications in Vegas and y'all, Texas, Illinois. That's a decent spot too for dinner off the strip. They got some good food. We've gone there, me, Jay, and my mother-in-law for a nice little dinner. Y'all had tornadoes in Chicago yesterday. So I really wanted Jay to come up here so I can go get me some Honolulu cookies, but she's not with me tonight. She had to teach, and unfortunately the kid, she had a one-on-one class with this kid, and he didn't show up. So if she would have known he wasn't showing up, she could have came out with me.
You know, there's a great audience here somewhere. That's what I was told.
I like shrimp. What kind of shrimp is it, Ryan? So you got one up in New Hampshire. I've got one up in New Hampshire. Lightning strikes in Vegas, and here I am walking around on the strip with lightning. Let's get some lightning. We'll see if it holds out. I'll probably stream until about, like, I don't know, 8:30, quarter to 9. I have to get my son tonight. So I got to keep a account of what time the Aviators baseball game is over. There's the zip liners. This zip line goes a lot slower than I think the Fremont one. So this has been opening soon also. Bojangles has been opening soon for quite some time. It seems like they're taking the same approach as In-N-Out, right? I don't know. There's the original In-N-Out on the strip here. Right? This is the first one on the strip. It's not the first one in Vegas, but it's the first one on the strip. And it still gets pretty crowded. you know, because people from up here, this end of the strip, ain't gonna walk all the way down to the overlook. Oh, that's a long paragraph. Let me read that. I know nothing, Ed. There's nothing, Alan. We get a lot of lightning out on the mountains. So a lot of times the storms, they don't make it into the valley. They just hang out on the mountains. Me and my sons got caught on a horrible lightning storm one night. We were out on a night hike and we were about like three miles in, and we were looking towards the east, and the mountains out by Lake Mead had a terrible storm on it. We were walking a little bit more, and I turned around and I was like, yo guys, let's turn around. That storm's starting to head this way. And I had looked at the radar before we went out, the forecast, and it just said to the east, and it was just going to travel up the Colorado River. Well, it changed its mind and decided that it wanted to come across the valley. So we started walking back to the car, and the front edge of the storm, you could feel the cold hit. And then it was just the craziest lightning. And we weren't too far from a power line road. So there was a lot of lightning striking around us. And it was pretty scary. Actually, you know, we started running back to the car. I was like, all right, let's get out of here. There was nowhere to go. I mean, what am I going to do? Climb up on a mountain? Go walk underneath the power lines? I was like, all right, let's just start jogging back to the car. We made it back to the car, and safe. None of us got struck by the lightning, but we did run into a nasty storm on the ride back to our house. So Yard House here, they have some pretty decent wings as appetizers. So it's definitely a spot if you like wings. I can tell you they're pretty decent. I don't go here. I don't go to Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club. They used to have a happy hour, and then when it discontinued, but it was still on their website. I tell this story all the time. The bartender in there, she was pretty rude about it because we asked, and she got rude, and so we just kind of, every time we walk past, just remind people we don't go there because they got some rude staff in there. Well, maybe she was having a bad night or something, but a couple people on our live streams in the past have described her, and we're like, yep. So I'm pretty sure we weren't all there the same night. So this is a good spot to stop and get some cheap drinks, right? They got the $5 daiquiris, $5 beers, right? You can still find some cheap drinks out here on the strip. And this is where most people eat their in and out, right? Around the fountain here. So they got, over at Ja Burritos, they got the 4, 5, 4, and 3 for the roadies. I just don't know about sushi burrito. I'm not a sushi fan, but I love burritos. But I'm not willing to intermix them, right? I don't even think that they should ever meet. Seems to me like did the chat freeze on you guys? Couple more zip liners. I've done the high roller. I've never done the zip line. Not because I'm scared, just because I just never had. These are just being quiet tonight, huh? A sushi push pop? Like the dessert, like the ice cream thing? Oh. I've given sushi like a try like 2 or 3 times, and I've tried like a lot of stuff, you know, and there's nothing that has ever, I've never been like, ooh, that was good. Actually, most of it, I'm like, oh God, that was horrible. Justin enjoyed, well, good, Alan, good. I just, I know that there's been some issues, even with some other streamers, with the chats freezing up and stuff like that. So everyone who's joined tonight, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. Welcome into the chatters. So the chatters is what we call our little chat group here. That was a name that we picked out. Let the community pick out, right? Because we try to be very community focused here. A lot of people in this chat, they're always in here. A lot of people have met through this chat on their Vegas vacations. So it's a really fun, community oriented chat group. And our channel in general, if you guys have somewhere you want to see, type it in the chat or send us a message, and we usually try to make the videos or make it to those locations during the live stream. Ernesto, what's going on? Tiffany, happy hump day. Some moons, right? So I think we're going to hold off on the coffee for right now. I don't feel like walking around with a coffee. I had a lot of coffee today. I had about a pot and a half. So I'm gonna hold off on it until later on. That did not qualify as I think for Mud everything is moons. I think he sets the bar pretty low. So go ahead, hit that smash button, hit that subscribe button, say hello, say where you're from, when you're coming to Vegas next. If you got somewhere you want to go, ask a question. We answer questions. We just don't point at things and ask you, have you ever tried this or whatever, right? Sometimes we do, because I haven't tried it. But we like to give you content that is useful and helpful. And asteroid. You're coming in November, nice. Where are you going to be staying? Because we are going to be covering the F1 construction that happens, and it's going to be running the same schedule as next year, basically. So, Tom, what's going on? Watching from South LA, awesome. Welcome in, Ernesto. How's your day going? So I can tell you that the first official week for F1 construction is going to be Monday, October 31st. August 31st, not October 31st. I'm wishing, right? I'm trying to cut a whole month off there. 2 months. So they'll start, and they're going to start again next year, like they did last year, back on Koval at the pedestrian bridge by Ellis Island. That'll be the first week. Just some overnight lane closures. So the first week of September, really not going to be that difficult for tourists. It's not going to be until around September 14th, which is when the Bellagio sidewalk is going to close. Kevin, you have a great day. You're going to be staying at Cosmo in September. Now, a lot of people think that like F1 shuts the strip down, the sidewalks and all that stuff. It only shuts down one sidewalk, and that is outside of Bellagio. And that's really the only spot you really have to take a hard detour. Everything else is just vehicle traffic mostly. So you'll see, slower travel times, things like that. So if you're taking an Uber or a Lyft or a Zoox somewhere, it's going to be a little bit slower once the F1 construction starts. Now, so I try to be very informative because I know what it's like to be a visitor, right? I moved out here about 6 years ago, lived out here back in the late 90s. Yes, I'm that old. You might not be able to tell from my gorgeous thumbnails, but yes, I'm 50. But we lived out here when we were 21. And the time between 1997, 98, when we lived here, to 2020, when we moved back, we came out here a lot. And there wasn't a whole lot of live streams or information, you know, about Las Vegas and stuff. You know, there was a lot of blogs and things like that that were so outdated. So when we started doing this, which was by accident, when the Mirage was closing down, and we started streaming the last few, little Peter Brady there, the last few volcano eruptions, and then it kind of grew from there. So we want people that watch our channel, subscribe to our channel, like our channel. That's what we ask for support. We don't come at you the whole time for gifts or super chats or anything like that. If you guys want to ever give that is highly appreciated, but we're not going to sit here and beg half a live stream for that stuff. We want you guys to enjoy your vacation. We want you to watch our videos when you're planning your vacations and things like that. You know what I mean? So T-Mobile has the sushi push pops. I cannot verify that, Madison, and if I see them, I'm not trying one. I can tell you that much. Hey, what's up, little pigeon? I think everyone's just ignoring you, Rob. I know I am. No, Rob's a great dude. Rob's one of my buddies on here. He comes out to Vegas. We hang out together. So another thing that we do is we carry around stickers with us. I think I have some. Most of the time I carry around stickers. And when people come over and say hello to us, we like to give a little shout out on the Oh, I know there's going to be some comments about that. Do I ever live stream from the Orleans? No, but I should do some content on the Orleans. You know, in the past month, the casinos have started on the Strip, have started to push back on streamers and stuff, because everybody with a cell phone now is putting stuff on social media. And that's great because it's a lot of exposure for Vegas, but sometimes they're not doing it and being respectful to the people in there. So, yeah, so here, let me show you guys this, right? So we carry around these are the stickers we have now. This is probably our 5th edition of stickers. I got to get some new ones, and you know, we try to let everyone have one of these stickers that we meet up with, and give you a little shout out on the live stream, so the people here on YouTube in the chatters know who you are. So so there we go. We got the Eiffel Tower in front of us. Why is it? I wonder why it's pink and green. It was pink and green earlier this month or last month, and there was that fraternity here, and that was, or sorority rather, and that was their colors. So I thought that was just a one-off. Oh, we got a broken escalator. Fun stuff. You get our friendship forever, Alan, if you did that. We would give you top fan status. I'm trying not to just let you see the back of this guy's shirt. So so that's like the gist of me and Jay's channel, right? We do a lot of fun stuff. We do our Neon City Walker Nuggets, which are really quick, fast facts about Vegas, old historical facts, weird laws, maybe a new spot opening up that we haven't gotten a chance to review yet or go to, because we don't really do food reviews. we'll tell you where a cool vibe is. Here it is. It's Sugar, Alan. This is where you went. You were talking about earlier. I just want to slip into the pain. Yeah, some people say that Vegas is like a GTA server, right? So that's all red. That's the Blake Shelton joint, right? Then you got Bottle Blonde over here. I hear mixed reviews about Bottle Blonde, but looks like they have a pretty decent happy hour here. $3 beers, $3 shots, $3 spirits, $1 wings. And the rooftop opens nightly at 5 p.m. Nice. Oh, they got a Latin night every Thursday from 9 p.m. And open format DJs Friday, Saturday from 9 p.m. We're gonna have to check that out. Some Bottled Blonde. Glitter and coffee. That's what I thought it was for. But you think they still have the Eiffel Tower lit up for that? Maybe they paid for it for like a month. Yeah, Jay, myself and Jay, we do a lot of research about stuff going on in Vegas, especially like kind of old historical stuff. So, you know, it's fun knowledge that, you know, we think like, you know, people like to be able to walk through and see that stuff, right? Especially if you've ever been to Monte Carlo, you know, which I got to tell you, every time I went to Monte Carlo, I would always, and if I knew we were going there and gonna hang out or maybe go get something to eat, I used to always try to dress a little nicer and pretend I was like James Bond and, you know, 007, and I was going to like the real Monte Carlo casino. Have I been to? No, I have not been to the Punk Rock Museum, Mud, actually. I drive past it a lot. That's one of my ways I drive home, up through that area. Yeah, this is a good CVS store, right? You always get, there's Willie B. What's up? So if you're here, stop, give him a listen, drop a couple dollars in his bucket. He's a great singer. Can't hang out too long here because we'll get a copyright. The second weekend in October. All right, Alan, where do you want to go? We're going to try somewhere to eat that's not in a casino. Well, last time we went to Peppermill. We took you out to Peppermill, or you took us out to Peppermill. We ate at Peppermill. How's that? For the Punk Rock Museum, no. I have not checked out the Punk Rock Museum. I probably should check out the Punk Rock Museum. I think there's probably a lot of cool history in there. I have checked out the Mob Museum. That was pretty fun. So you see they got the, let me see if I can get a better view of this without going out in the street there. Yeah, we went to Cheo. Rob, that's where we went, that little Mexican place in the Link Promenade. So the Eiffel Tower does a light show also that kind of corresponds with when the Bellagio does its fountain show. Now, like I said, if we're going by last year's schedule, I have not looked at this year's schedule yet. Oh. Around September 14th is when we will start seeing the Bellagio sidewalk shut down. 2 lanes of traffic southbound will be blocked, and they will start building the Heineken grandstands, which is going to block your view. And if you're coming to Vegas for the first time and really had your mind set on your heart set on seeing the fountains from the front of Bellagio, you might want to come a different time. Take Alan to Slater's 50/50 all you can eat burgers and apps. That sounds like something we might try to do. Callie, what's going on? How you doing? Jesus, I do not disagree with you. It really, that's the one thing about F1 that kind of really gets me, right? I can deal with the traffic. You know, I'm up on the strip probably 6-7 days a week, right? Five definitely for working, and then 2 for doing content and stuff like that. So, you know, I can deal with the traffic. I can deal with that kind of stuff. It just really does upset me that the whole front of the fountain show gets blocked off. We're gonna, well, you know what? We'll make that a date there, Alan, and based upon Mud's recommendation, we'll check out Slater's. And then if we don't like it, we could be mad at Mud. You know what? Maybe I'll take them to the Torrey Pines Tavern, too. Rob, you have a great night, buddy. So everybody's still crossing and the cars have the green light. So really pay attention when you're walking out here. This is a bad intersection. Yeah, they took down the trees and now they got like the trees that they repot every year. But I think that the intersection over there at the worst in this intersection actually. So across with the do not walk sign. Oh, there's a Zooks, the little toaster that could. Well, we're gonna base it on you, Mud. This guy is oh yeah, Alan, that's another spot we got to check out. Smoked Stupid. That's like my favorite barbecue spot out here. It's right behind the I think it's Scores Gentlemen's Club. Oh, here comes the cars again. And these guys want to get here. So yeah, I mean, you know, people that's one of the reasons that we don't do like really food reviews, right? Is because people get really mad at food reviewers, right? And say, I thought that food, right? You didn't like the food, you thought it sucked. Well, I thought it was good, right? Maybe sometimes it's just a different in taste buds, but you know, I also can't see myself sitting there being like, oh, it was so savory and juicy and, you know, whatever. Like, I just want spicy food, basically. I want food that I can taste, that's got some spice to it, you know? Oh, I forgot. We really didn't want to go this way because the escalators at the end of the Planet Hollywood corner there are out of service. They're going to be out of service for a while too, it looked like. So we're going to have to take the steps when we get over there. I'm not going to take the elevator. There's an elevator there. I'll show you guys where the elevator is, but we'll take the steps. The gentleman is that what Scores is? I remember Scores was the spot that Howard Stern used to hang out at, right? Now I'm kind of really dating myself again. So we got Cosmo across the street. We still got some clouds here, but it looks like it might have cleared up. Alan said there was nothing on the radar, but I don't know. We'll see if it does rain. Like I said, 35 seconds it rained at my house up in the northwest. The elevator's out too? Oh my, that sucks for people that have mobility issues or a stroller, right? So you know what, maybe what we can do is, you know what, I'm gonna show you guys on a live stream, if you come across this, what's the easiest way to cross at Harmon if the escalators and the elevator are out. How's that sound? Be nice. Kahuna, welcome in, welcome in. I'll welcome you in. Bruce, what's going on? So, oh, now we're gonna have a college rivalry fest in here. Let's fight nicely now, okay? All right, so if you do come upon these escalators at Harmon, right, because these have been out for quite a while right now. Like, we could probably go back and figure it out if we checked all the different live streams, but these escalators, at least 2 months probably. We got some Notre Dame. I went to college for like a semester and a half. I went to Philadelphia Community College. Jay has like about 5 colleges. The new Sbarro is straight ahead also, right? Yep. So you can see up at the top, I'll zoom a little bit here. Up at the top, they are lifting out like the frame or something like that. Now, back in the day, before the Cosmo and Aria and all these pedestrian bridges were here, you used to have to like wait at this light, and this was like one of the worst intersections to cross. Yeah, you're right. A lot, you know, they really do need to do something up top there where you walk in on this side, because it gets really crowded and there's only like 2 doors, right? So around the other side of this, Tokyo Grab and Go. I wonder what that's going to be. I'll have to look into that. So this is closed too, right? So that's the pedestrian elevated bridge, right? There's an elevator at Cosmo, but that does us no good, right? I'm on this side and I have a mobility issue. How do I get over there, right? So I'm going to show you guys. Unfortunately, if you had to get to Cosmo, you'd have to go back up Planet Hollywood and cross over at Bellagio, where you're going to be going for a long time. The escalators on this side are working, and the steps obviously, but I'm going to show you guys, because I promised to show you if both sides of those escalators were down or you needed to cross to go south. What's the fastest way is to go around the people that walk really slow, is the fastest way. Cardboard Jesus, what's up? How you doing? So sometimes you can, sometimes if they keep that area closed off. I've tried that in the past, and they had closed off the escalator. So if you needed to go upstairs to get something, they were telling people to check out downstairs and then go up the steps outside. So unfortunately, this is the walk. You have to walk down Harmon to the Planet Hollywood Miracle Mile garage entrance up here. But you get to walk past these nice little restaurants here, right? Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, let's get some more likes in here, guys. Smash that like button. That's the best way to support your, if you're watching the stream, throw a like in if you're enjoying it. Subscribe to the content creator, I mean, that's all I ask. I could sit here and beg half the time for you to send me gifts and stuff, but that's not my thing. The hot and juicy crawfish. I've never eaten in there. I don't know if I would. I'm not a huge seafood person, but there are some really good restaurants right inside the entrance here of Miracle Mile. So, unfortunately, if you had mobility issues and you were going south, this is how you have to go to cross over there, unless you wanted to go back to Planet Hollywood Bellagio crossover. Now, maybe Walgreens would be nice and let you in. I don't know, but I've been in there once or twice and they had that escalator closed off. Jen, the Korean barbecue house, I think that's how you say it. I don't know, somebody will have a problem with the way I said it. That looks pretty good. I would love to try a couple Korean barbecue houses. Yeah, so give us a follow on our other socials also. We got Facebook, TikTok, IG. We have a site called Buy Me a Coffee. Now, a lot of people think that's like a donation site, and it mostly is, and I'm starting to get that going. I've had it for a while, but what I'm starting to do is I'm going to start adding free downloadables. So we're going to cross over here. Downloadables like some wallpapers, Vegas wallpapers for your screens, some checklists, things like that. So check it out. And they're going to be free to download, kind of like a little thank you for supporting us. And if you wanted to drop something there, you can. But of course, it's never mandatory. Ha! Only fan. Alan, you're too much sometimes, buddy. That's our After Dark, the Neon City Walkers After Dark. And that's a special invite. I'm just kidding, by the way. There's no juicy stuff. You guys. There's the toaster. There's the Zooks. So they're charging for them now, if you missed earlier. I have a video. I break down the price of the Zooks, how they compare to the different ride shares out here. So this is it's quite a long walk, right? Just because there's no elevator there. Now, I wonder if they shut the elevator off on this side. We should do some more investigating about that, right? Listen, if someone wanted to buy pictures of my stinky, sweaty feet, I probably would sell them to them. I mean, that's a little bit weird. Hey, here's this guy who just walked like 25,000 steps. His feet turned, I don't know. Strange, but hey. You know what, Alan? next time Danny's on, or you know what, I'll try to do a little research on that. I don't know. That's a good question. I've never thought about that before over there. Yeah, mine are nasty. I think feet in general are pretty nasty, but that's my thing. So let's see. So this elevator works. Maybe does it? I don't see a sign. So how about that news A stadium? Americami. Changing the subject. Sorry. So this one is working. Should we? So how do we get it? I don't know. So here's the map, right, on how you would do it. But if you're on that side, how do you get on the elevator over there? We'll have to figure that out. So I guess we might as well head on up to the overlook. Check that out. Do a little quick walk by the overlook. So when people say it takes 45 minutes, so we've been an hour now, right? Strolling, stopping, walking down the promenade, all that stuff, and we've been on for an hour. And I think we've gotten a pretty far down the strip, huh? So you can get anywhere on the strip in a pretty decent time, especially when it's not super hot out. Like right now, it is beautiful out. A little bit humid. I'm a little bit sweating, but I think it's on mud, but we can't see it. I'm going to try to zoom in and see if we can zoom past there, right? You can see to the right or the left, whatever that is. I'm going to stand still. You can see the top of the Luxor. The beacon, the sky beam is on. I think if the A's changed their name, that would have been a good name, Aces. But we already have the WNBA team, so I'm pretty sure that they wanted to have give up their name. There we go. All right. So I want to thank everyone who's in here right now for stopping by and checking out our stream. Go ahead, smash that like button. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on so you'll find out when we go live next. Currently, I've been doing a lot of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday live streams. I'm trying to work my way back up to 5 or 6 a week like I was for a long time. But then adulting and parenting and stuff happened. And, you know, being a homeowner, I got, earlier this summer, I got involved in a bunch of home projects and things like that. And it kind of took away from my live stream time. But I think everything's pretty much handled at the house. A few things I'm sure Jay's going to have me do before the holidays. But, you know, I definitely want to get out here more often and live stream more. Maybe not 7 days a week, but, you know, I think these steps are really cool. Now, they used like an air sprayer. Like they airbrushed those steps. I remember watching them do some of the painting here. So what we got going on over here? Tensho Japanese is opening in October. Looks like they're working hard in there. So we're gonna go check out the In-N-Out, the much hyped up In-N-Out, right? Every single influencer in the world, and myself included, did tons and tons of content on this In-N-Out, and here it is. It's open, and it's just like every other In-N-Out, only bigger. That's the big thing here. There's the X, the palm trees with the X. Now you get some really good views up here over on this corner, but the really nice view going north up the strip, you have to walk around the In-N-Out Burger to get to see. If you walk all the way up to the north corner of this overlook, you get a nice view. Planet Hollywood, Paris, get some of the Hard Rock. That's the merchandise store. Their Las Vegas merchandise pretty much consists of just the word Las Vegas on the front of a shirt, and then it being a basic In-N-Out t-shirt. Really nothing spectacular. It's almost like not even worth my time to go in there. Nate, what's going on? How you doing? It's definitely better than Whataburger. I've had the Whataburger right across the street here, and I definitely think that In-N-Out is better than Whataburger. Sorry, Alan. But if I had my choice between the two, I'm taking In-N-Out over a lot of burgers, actually. I think In-N-Out's probably a little bit better than our burger also out here. So you get a decent view of the Sphere back there. I'm sorry, Sphere. Planet Hollywood. Now we're going, it's starting to do that weird thing again. Why is it? There we go. Stop. Whataburger's just a Texas Burger King. That's funny. Bobby's Burgers. Bobby Flay's spot. Been there 3 weeks. Planet Hollywood. Nice. So you'll be going. You're going to start seeing some construction around Harmon there at Planet Hollywood. I got to figure out this autofocus. We'll work with this later on tonight. It must be a phone setting internally or something why it's autofocusing, because I have it turned off. I know Alan just likes to start trouble sometimes. A lot of troublemakers in here. Get a nice little view. Cosmo, Bellagio, the Veer Towers right there. Now, that's the problem with a lot of Caesars properties, right? They come off as like budget, like Flamingo, Link, Harrah's, but then their food options in there are really not budget, right? They got the Bobby Flays, they got Flavor Town, they got all that stuff. They got Havana, 1856 or whatever it is, and in Flamingo, and a lot of them are really pricey restaurants. So you're saving a lot of money on a room. But when it comes down to your options for food, what is going on? When it comes to your options for food, the options are all like, mid-upper tier restaurants, right? So That's why one of the reasons that I have said that those properties, and Jay has said that those properties are kind of overrated. Now, I'd rather stay at New York, New York, maybe spend a couple extra dollars. I think New York, New York's a great location, and there's a lot of really good, cheap stuff, places in New York, New York. You can get a bagel and a coffee for under 10 bucks. I think it's like 11 bucks, so not under 10 bucks at one of the little coffee shops inside New York, New York. So, but I can't find anything like that at Harrah's or Caesars or the Link. So, let's see, what else is opening up here that I've heard? Mothership Coffee, I think, is opening up here. Yeah, there's that little coffee shop on your way to the back, going out to the ride share or the monorail. There's that little coffee shop off the lobby. It's like $9 for a drip coffee. Harrah's, Links, Flamingo, we get some good deals sometimes, Alan. You know, you get good deals for the room, but then you're spending the money elsewhere on the property, right? How you doing, Mud? How you doing? It's sourdough pizza, and it's really good. These things are starting to come along, right? They're starting to get some growth on them. These are going to be shade, and you got these vines that are growing up them. They're going to connect. You see where they connect? So this is going to be shaded eventually, probably like another year or so, right? How you doing is right over here. If I was coming up here to get something to eat, I'd probably spend the extra couple dollars and get myself a pizza over at How You Doin'. Unless I never had In-N-Out before, then I'd probably grab the In-N-Out. But me and Jay actually got How You Doin' during a live stream one day. Sat down and ate it during the live stream. Told you guys as we were eating it what we thought about it. I liked it more than Jay liked it. But I really do like sourdough pizza crust. So, I don't think it was that expensive either. Bruce, I agree, right? Because they have the personal pizza, which is around 18 bucks or something like that. And it's 4 slices. Listen, if I'll probably buy 2 slices of pizza. So, and there's spots up here where 2 slices of pizza and a soda is going to be 20 bucks. You know, so I guess it's kind of in line a little bit. Get a little bit of wind, and it's getting a little bit chillier. So maybe we'll get some rain. But that's why I'm trying to stay outside and not go through the casinos tonight, right? Because I want to see if we're going to get some rain. I'm getting unbelievable battery life also because it's not like 100 and freaking 110, you know? So here's the problem with the Overlook. And I don't know if anybody's really brought this up besides me. So to get to the Overlook, if you're staying at Aria, which is probably the worst location to stay at if you're trying to get to the Overlook. Aria, but Dara might even have an easier time getting to the Overlook. Aria, you have to walk out. You're going to have to walk down to the corner here where Whataburger, crappy Whataburgers is, and then go down the strip to Park MGM, up the pedestrian bridge, across, and then halfway back up the block to get to the Overlook. Or you're going to have to go through the Shops of Crystals and cross the Overlook at Harmon, and then cross again and come down here to the Overlook. So it's going to take you a good 15 minutes or so to get from Aria to the Overlook. Now, there is the back way that you can walk through Aria to Park MGM to save yourself some time out in the heat if it's hot out, but I just think it's a horrible it's a horrible idea, horrible planning that they did not put a pedestrian bridge across right there at that corner, right to that corner, or right up here. You know what I mean? I'm not a big seafood eater, but I do hear that the Palms buffet, I'm not a big buffet person. I love Palms though. Palms is one of my favorite spots. I'm just not really into buffets for some reason. I never have been. I have like this I have this problem with controlling myself to stop eating, right? Especially when I get to the dessert part of the buffet. And I usually just eat myself sick. Thank you for the update, Alan. So we may be getting some rain. I don't know. I mean, so that is west, right? That's the west. And we still got some sunlight down in the southwest here. Now, if I head over towards the southeast, it's getting pretty dark. Darker than the normal, like, kind of sunset there. You can kind of see the clouds. And you know what? Palms is pretty generous with their comps too. But I'm not sure if you're still on, but you can kind of see the light a little bit, the sky beam. Yeah, it definitely looks like rain. It's starting to feel like it may rain. Starting to get a little bit cooler. What time we got here? We got 8 o'clock. All right, we got about an hour left here, I think. So I think we're going to go all the way down to MGM, cross over, and start making our way back up the strip. So there we got the Signature Towers, MGM property there. So the Signature Towers, those 3 towers right there, are connected by an indoor walkway that takes you to MGM Grand. Now I have a video on our page that we take that walkway. So go check that out. It's a pretty, watch the video. I'm actually a little bit scared to drive in the rain out here, Alan. First of all, the roads are a lot more slick than I remember them being anywhere else in the rain. You know, because the roads don't get washed down by the rain or anything like that, so you have a lot of oil buildup on the asphalt there. And people do drive like maniacs out here, and they don't understand that stopping distances increase in the rain. Right, Jesus? So the Big Bus Las Vegas tour, I think somewhere we have a affiliate link for them, but it's a really cool bus ride. If you've never taken one of them, it's a great, especially this time of year at night. Don't do the daytime one because you'll cook yourself. So we're gonna head on down. Yeah, Vegas drivers are drivers from all over the country that have moved here, right? And we all have our own little things that we, you know, like Philly drivers don't really stop at stop signs. We kind of roll through them, right? California drivers, they pass on the right, a lot of them for some reason. I don't know why. I get passed all the time. Like, if I'm in the right lane and an exit lane opens up, some car is going to zip past me, cut me off at the last minute, and whoa, there we go. And a lot of times they got California plates. Now, I'm not going to sit and complain and say it's all California drivers. I mean, I've seen people with Illinois tags out here that are horrible. Montana, there's a lot of Montana tags out here too, for some reason. Maybe that's where people register their cars. I don't know, but Vegas in general is like, it's like one big Mario Kart track. It's like a GTA It's like walking around a GTA sim. You have a good night. Is your dad getting off too? No, Alan's not leaving. Oh, we got Alan's happy-go-lucky is still going to be hanging with us. Awesome. You have a good night, and we'll see you next time you come out here. So this gets pretty crowded. So who remembers, everyone always says about the crowds in Vegas, right? Now, when you used to have to stop at everywhere, Flamingo, Harmon, big crowds like this would, massive, more than this, would form, right? At the crosswalk, waiting to cross. And then everybody would start walking like we're doing now and kind of spread out. Well, now with all the crosswalks that Vegas has, you don't see those type of crowds anymore, right? So you just see kind of the crowds that everybody says Vegas is dead. But when you get to where there's a crosswalk, there's definitely more people because you have to wait there. I've been saying that since basically the beginning of this Vegas is dead thing, that yeah, the pedestrian crowds have changed drastically because of indoor walkways and crosswalks. It's not like it used to be where everybody had to cross at the corner and stuff like that. Illinois is great drivers. I beg to differ. I still think the worst drivers are Massachusetts drivers. I think that they are some of the worst Massachusetts drivers. New Jersey drivers are pretty bad too. You know, in New Jersey, for the longest time, they had tons of circles and you couldn't make left-hand turns from a left lane. You had to go around a circle or go off a jug handle and make a left, right? So you made a right-handed jug handle turn and then that's how you made a left. So yeah, so we just have the worst of the worst out here, I think. Now, there's a thing out here. When I first moved out here, somebody told me, and I kind of remembered it from years ago, like, when the light turns green, do not just go. When the light turns green, wait like a second or two. Let the person behind you honk, right? Which is fine, but people run a lot of red lights, so you just kind of want to show out. Oh, the Five Guys has a balcony bar. This must have just opened. I didn't even see that this opened. Well, I had to go in there one night and check it out. I might give the Five Guys burger a try, but that's a hard thing to do too, right? Because it's like almost to double the price of an In-N-Out burger. So we got a decent crowd down this end. What is that? That's 100,000 times better. How many zeros is that? My eyes are a little blurry. I got my wrong glasses on. I don't know. You know what? Maybe I'll do a comparison on a Five Guys burger and a In-N-Out burger. Maybe we'll do that next time you come out, Ryan. We'll go get some Five Guys. know, it cracks me up because when I first started live streaming like 2 years ago, I didn't even have to wear glasses. So they fresh cut their fries also, right? But they make their fries a little thicker than In-N-Out does. Then I think that's the problem that a lot of people don't like the In-N-Out fries is because they're fresh cut, but they cut them too thin so that they can get more out of the potato, and it kind of dries them out. You know, there's not enough potato in their fries. And we're getting autofocusy again. Why? I turned it off. So we're not going to walk all the way over to the stadium. I'm not a huge fan. I like steak fries, the best actually. Now here's the MGM Lion. Jeez, just kick me out of Vegas right now for saying that, right? That's why I normally get the animal fries when I get fries at In-N-Out. I'm like, I'll get animal fries. Yeah, I doubt they have that deal here in Vegas. So the A Stadium, 2028, right? That's going to be the opening season. You know, they got another one of those girders up there forming that dome. They just need to get the centerpiece in there. I would love to catch them doing that. I think that would be awesome. Nick, put $1 and win a car. Not with my luck lately, man. Listen, I just did the 200-hour free slot play at Treasure Island. I won $100, which is nice. But like, you know, you would think, you know, I was playing $1 a spin, right? Because I found like a Buffalo link that had like 1,200 of the 1,800 buffaloes that you need to trigger the link, right? The free games and whatnot. And don't you know, it, like I almost ran through the whole 200 hours in free play to get like 300 freaking buffalo. There it is. We got the good beacon. We got Excalibur there. It does look really nice from this side. You know, if I had my camera with me, I'd take a picture of it and post that on Facebook and be like, Excalibur at night, have you ever been there? But MGM should be ashamed of themselves, man. They really let this lion go, right? The granite is damaged down here. There's no more water feature around the base of it. I mean, this used to be like, that used to be it, right? That was like, everybody came down here to get their picture. I'd be really disappointed if I came down here and found the lion looking like that. Alan hyping me up. Thank you, Alan. Yeah, go ahead. Listen to Alan. Hit that, smash that like button if you guys haven't already done that. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you enjoy these kind of walks or live streams. I try to be as informational as I can, answer as many questions as I can. If you guys are asking questions, I will try to answer them. I mean, do the best that I can, right? If you like Vegas content where the creator is actually out doing the content, answering your questions, you know, having legit conversations in our live streams, then you found the right spot. Join the chatters, right? Chatters is the chat group. Say hello. It's a really nice bunch of people we have in here, right? Really fun group. A lot of us have met in person. People have ended up being in Vegas at the same time and met up with and without me, actually, which is really cool. You know, we're trying to build like a Vegas community, enthusiasts, people who really like Vegas, and Vegas hogs, right? Is that what Mud calls them? So here's a little Neon City Walker nugget for you, right? I have a full video on this too. Well, it's a short, but the Statue of Liberty, the U.S. Postal Service put the Statue of Liberty from New York, New York on a stamp, right? And for years they were selling them stamps, making billions of dollars. Well, eventually someone told the artist, and the artist sued the government for copyright infringement. And we had to pay, I think it was like 13 million or something like that to the artist for using their artwork on a stamp. You would think the US government, who issues the copyrights and all that stuff, would have had somebody kind of looking and saying, hey, that's not the Statue of Liberty that we can use. I'm taking the steps just because, I don't know. But this escalator was working. Now, the other thing that really bothers me, here at the base of the Statue of Liberty is there's no water here. Remember, this used to look like the harbor and all that stuff. Was only 1 or 2 years old when you first went to Vegas. Dang. So, we came up with an idea on a live stream one time that MGM should make the base of the Statue of Liberty like a putt-putt course, right? Like a mini golf course. Put in some hot dog stands, some Coney Island stuff, New York things, right? And that would be really cool to play some mini golf right here on the strip. Yep. Or maybe just fill it back up with water. That would be cool too, right? Maybe give the Statue of Liberty like a real base. So we're gonna head back up north on the strip because I'm gonna have to be getting going soon. Now, this is one of my favorite spots to go to beat the heat, is inside New York, New York, where they have the Hershey store. The Hershey store, the M&M store across the street, all the candy stores on the strip are usually kept a few degrees colder than everywhere else, right? And that's to help with keeping the candy and the chocolate from melting. Now, Hershey's also does have some insulated bags that if it's very hot out, they will put your candy in an insulated bag. So it's a good way to cool off, kill like 15-20 minutes if you're walking past one of them and you're getting hot, right? So we're coming up on this outdoor seating area at New York, New York. Now, they have live bands on the weekends, pretty fun. It's not as crazy as Fremont Street, but it does get pretty fun down here. Got the Nine Fine Irishman patio area. You can sit, have some drinks. Now, what me and Jay sometimes will do is we'll come over here. She'll get a roadie or something from the ABC store across the street or the CVS on the walk down, and we'll sit at one of these tables and I'll drink my coffee and she'll have some sort of alcoholic beverage, because I don't drink, but she does. Yeah, there used to be the water and the boat in there. That's right. Putt-putt would be awesome. Now, you know what? Maybe we should make another video there, right? And we'll tag MGM. And then I'll just need everyone to start, like, you know, sharing that video out, commenting how awesome that would be, tagging MGM, and maybe we could get that to happen. How cool would that be? Alan, I don't know what Jimmy you're talking about, but you're definitely not talking about this one. I could tell you that right now. So, but MGM, New York, New York is one of the only MGM properties that still does have outdoor water features. MGM Grand obviously doesn't, right? They turned off the water at the Lion. They turned off the water outside of Mandalay at the Enchanted Garden. They took all the water out of the Luxor. They took the moat out of Excalibur. Cosmo, I don't think Cosmo ever had an outdoor feature, but you know, that, and I mean, Bellagio still has the fountains, obviously. Now, who knows what the third property that MGM has that does still have an outdoor water feature. And speaking of, it's actually turned off today. I wonder if they turned them off for some maintenance. This is these have been on all summer. I wonder why they're off. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, we could do that. We could do the AI putt-putt course at the base of the Statue of Liberty. That would be pretty cool. Trying to think, since I'm on this side of the strip, should I get a coffee? No, I drank too much coffee today. I know if I drink more coffee, I'll end up being dehydrated. So I'm gonna skip the coffee. I'm gonna have some self-control, which is rare in my world. All right, let's see if we can get across here. This isn't another intersection that's a street level pedestrian cross, and this gets backed up pretty quick. And you got to watch the cars turning off the strip on the Bruno Mars Drive here. This used to be what, Park Ave, I think it was, Park Drive. Now it is Bruno Mars Drive. Back in a few months ago, they had that whole Bruno Mars Appreciation Day, big parade to start off his world tour. And they renamed the street, actually, right there between Park MGM and New York, New York. And that was pretty cool, except I didn't go to it. I had work that day, unfortunately. I miss a lot of the cool stuff because I work. I can't, dude, I don't know if I could go to Hello Kitty and get something besides. I got the peach tea that one time, and that was really good. But I kind of feel like a coffee. So if I went somewhere where there was a coffee was an option, I would probably definitely order the coffee. So I'm gonna skip it. I'm gonna wait. Maybe I'll see if my son wants to stop and get in and out on the way home. I know work is BS, man. Yes, if you now, you know, according to Bruno Mars, Bruce, he paid his debt back, and it really wasn't that much. But I don't know. You know how Elvis was so indebted to like the Hilton and stuff? That's kind of what I felt like Bruno Mars was, man, because he's got, you know, his name on the pinky ring in Bellagio. He's got, you know, he was doing that residency, and I heard he's going to come back and continue the residency. So, who knows? Who knows? I mean, I would just like to have the kind of money that you could go that much into debt gambling, that they were giving you that much credit. You know what I mean? I mean, I wouldn't want to go into like a reportedly $50+ million in debt, but you know. Italy is so good. No, you know, Italy has classes. If you go to Italy's website, right? Italy has classes that you can take. Now, what I did was I took some classes for the tiramisu, and they teach you how to make the tiramisu. They give you all the ingredients. You make your own like small tiramisu, and I think their tiramisu is one of the best in the city, as far as that goes. A Four Loko, that stuff is crazy, man. I never drank that when I drank. I was an IPA guy back when I used to drink. Can someone do me a favor? Can somebody Google the Las Vegas Aviators score and what inning they're in? Because that determines how fast I need to walk. So we're gonna head around here to the overpass here. Murakami needs a GoFundMe. All right, should we chance going through the Shops of Crystals, or should we take the outside way? Oh, look at this. Another broken escalator. See, I worry about going through the Shops of Crystals, and what happens is I get a slight delay, it gets a little glitchy, and then people start dropping off the stream. They don't come back. So normally when we have a decent amount of people, which we have, what is that, 250? I don't know, I can't read it. So there's the Veer Towers. We're gonna have to, top of the 5th. All right, we got plenty of time, I think. I thought that last night, and it said it was the top of, or middle of the 7th. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna get ready to go. Said bye to Jay. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go. And got my shoes on, got in the car, and I looked down, and it was the top of the 9th. Apparently the 8th inning was a super fast, like double play inning. So you think it's gonna glitch either way. Yeah, so let's go this way. We'll save a couple minutes, right? So this is a good way too. I could go for a little bit of air conditioning. I mean, this has been a pretty long walk without being in the air conditioning. You know, 1:43. We're an hour and 43 minutes into it. So let's see. So if it glitches, just hang in there. This takes about 2 minutes to walk through. All right. But it is. Yo. Let's get that thumbs up button going, right? Go ahead. You guys know how to do that. Use it for the next time we're live. And go ahead, hit that thumbs up. And then go check out some of our videos too, right? We got some pretty good videos. For the tentative F1, how it's going to pretty much run the same time as it ran last year, construction wise. Push, don't pull. See, I hate pushing so much. All right, so we should be getting better. It's still glitching because we are outside now heading towards Cosmo. Glitched almost the entire walkthrough. Okay. See, on my end, it seemed like I got about halfway to 3/4 of the way through. before it glitched on my side. But that's all right. So let's make a walk in the strip mistake right now, right? It's hot and we're getting tired. There's two things we could do. We can go in Cosmo, suck up some air conditioning, and get through towards the Bellagio, but we don't know really how to walk the strip, so we're gonna follow the crowd and go down the steps here, where we could have went inside and grabbed an escalator or an elevator and went down. Well, we're gonna go down this way. The last thing you wanna do is really go up these steps when it's 115 degrees, right? 1010, 109, 1010. It's gonna be super hot. You don't wanna walk up these steps. So go through the Cosmo, right? When you go in the Cosmo and you see the chandelier bar right there, there's escalators. You can take them escalators up, and that will take you to the pedestrian overpass, right? The second floor, you just walk around the chandelier bar and you're right at the overpass. But it's nighttime, it's kind of cool, and you know, it's not that bad, so we can walk down the steps. I probably would not have walked up the steps. That was what that lady in front of me needed to do. She needed to go inside and take the escalators. She was having a rough time with the steps. So another thing is, when it rains, the purple paint on the outside of Cosmo, this purple paint right there, that gets really, really slippery. But that gets really slippery. I've almost gone down a few times when it's been a little bit misty out, little rain out on the strip. So there we go. She's taking her fit outfits. Everyone stops and takes their fit outfits there. Go, hey guys, I'm not wearing nothing special. I got like sweaty armpits and sweat dripping off the side of my face. Now, I've seen a lot more kids out here as street performers lately. All right, so now we're going to be hitting one of the busiest sections of the strip, which comes September 14th, 15th, somewhere around there. We are going to be forced to either cross the street here, go up these escalators and take the walkway at Bellagio, or around the side until they shut them down. It's the Hot Mess Jimmy Express, right? Yeah, there we go. There's that Elvis that gets all mad, yells at people. You know who I'm talking about. So there was a little break in the traffic there, and people were like, I'm going for it. Don't do it. All right, now we're getting the light. Walk past a little toaster. Got some people in there. That carries 4 people. And they're very strict on the amount of people that can be in a Zooks. Get a little bit better view of the crowd from a little higher vantage point. Let's see what the crowd looks like tonight. I can't see the chat, so you guys chat amongst yourselves. And we're going to get a fountain show. It started and stopped. Uh-oh. We got some technical difficulties here on the fountain show. God Zeus. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. They got about, what, 1 second into the show. Rain delay. Except it's not raining. Ooh, almost dropped the gimbal. I should pay a little bit better attention. Let's check out the Eiffel Tower from here. How's it going? Ah! I don't know what's going on here. There we go. I know, I'm trying to stop it there, Mud. All right, it's going back on now. Dang, I almost dropped the gimbal and I grabbed it and it started spinning like that. Sorry about that, folks. Oh, it's back on. We're gonna try to get a good spot for the pushers. Joanna, what's going on? Uh-oh. These girls are stuck. They were pushing. All that people were stuck behind them girls that were pushing. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. We're gonna hang here for a second, and then I gotta get going because I gotta go get my son. See if we're gonna get some pushers here. All right, the crowd. I think the show is over, so let's see. Oh, we got pushers. They got stuck. That's two on that side. Get in the line. All right, I can't stand here all night. I would love to stand there all night and watch the pushers. Maybe we'll set camp up on there and do that. But I gotta walk and get the kid, right? Cause can I get an inning check on the Aviators game again? It was the 5th last time we checked, right? Pro tip, push really hard. Well, if you're gonna push, you kind of gotta push through it. But that can kind of break the door a little bit. Okay, so what do we got? We got Caesars, and then back up to Treasure Island. That's where I gotta head towards. Is that middle of the 6th? Can you spell that out? At 6, it's either a 6 or an 8. I told you I grabbed my wrong glasses tonight. And I'm paying the price now. I can see perfect as I'm walking, and I can see most of it really good. I know, I'm asking a lot tonight. Sixth, all right. We got plenty of time. All right, so woo. All right, everyone who's joined tonight, I've probably said this a bunch of times, but thank you all for joining us on this walk. Go ahead, smash that like button. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, turn on your alerts so you catch our next live stream. The Green Fairy Garden, awesome spot to hang out. Have an awesome little speakeasy in there called the Yacht Club. Good burgers, and they have a really good coffee shop in there. It's a little bit expensive. Of course, it's a Caesars property, so food prices are a little bit more on the Caesars properties than I find they are on some of the MGM properties. And I don't know why that is. Now, I'll probably be late getting him tonight. He doesn't really care because he gets out of there. Sometimes he likes to try to wait around and see the players coming out and stuff like that. Hey, it's the Mighty Bull coming into the room. Boom, boom. What's up, Mighty Bull? How you doing? Normally, I like to kind of hang out around the fountains here at Caesars a little bit longer, but don't have the time tonight. I mean, this has been, what, almost 2 hours, this live stream, so zipping and zagging through the crowd. Oh, we're 2 hours and 5 minutes into it. Now, the Flamingo still has my favorite, outside. I love the neon lights and stuff. I just think they've been trying to do these upgrades inside, and I just don't think they're hitting it with it. The new lobby area, yeah, it's nice, but it's nothing spectacular, and I don't even think it goes with its theme, right? And even if they were trying to make it like a retro theme, I really think they missed it. So, I don't know. For me, the Flamingo has gone down a little bit as they've been trying to upgrade. Still a great property to stay at if you're looking for location and things like that. But I think it's a little overrated for some of the reasons we were talking about earlier. The coffee shop, the little coffee kiosk in there is really expensive. There's not a lot of cheap food options. So that's kind of this whole strip here, right? Flamingo, Link, and Harrah's. Everyone says that they're very, very budget friendly, and the rooms are budget friendly. I think once you start trying to dine and grab snacks and things like that, you start to get really hammered with it not being so budget friendly. Yeah, you wasn't paying attention to that red light. And that's another reason that you don't really start just crossing out here. All right, so when we get up to the Caesars Forum shops up here, I think I may start, unless I can get, do I have my little, let's see if I have my little charging cable here. So my gimbal can actually charge my phone, and I need to start using that option more. But I kind of wasn't sure that we were going to be on this long tonight. So I'm going to pull over here and plug that in. Roger, what's going on, buddy? So let me plug that in. There we go. We got the phone plugged into the gimbal. Now that'll give me a little bit of charge as we try to get up here. because I need my phone to get into my car. Hey, we're in a little bit of a cold spell this week. You know, I think we're going to be getting into the 90s or something like that soon. This coming week, I think we have some 90-degree weather coming up. So you might get, but check the forecast before you come out. Sorry guys, we're so shaky right now. That's definitely one thing that you want to do. I'm trying to just save the last couple minutes. I wanted to try to make a complete lap and see how long it took us on a live stream. Right, there we go. So we should be better now. A little less shaky. Or maybe not. No, I don't carry my key card in my wallet. I probably should, especially like when I know I'm going to be out live streaming and stuff. But, you know, I have like 2 or 3 portable chargers with me at all times. And so I don't really worry about that much, Bruce. I've never had a problem with the connectivity or anything like that. Usually if there is ever a problem with your connectivity with your Tesla, just turn your Bluetooth on and off, and it reconnects with the car. Now what sucks is we went away one time and I forgot the key card, so I couldn't even valet at the hotel we stayed at, and they had to get like special permission for me to like park in the valet area, because you can't valet park your car without the key card, right? Because they need a key. So they put me in this little spot. I had to tip them a little nice. So I guess once we get back up into out front of the Venetian, we can call it quits for the night. A nice, probably 2-hour, 20-minute live stream. So I appreciate you all spending part of your night with me. Yeah, Bruce, you know what? You're probably right, and that's probably something we should do, but it's not something that I really ever considered up until right about now. I should tell my son to do the same for his Tesla. Now, I've been actually really considering, like, next spring, getting rid of my truck and possibly getting a 3rd Tesla for the house. But I don't know. I really like my truck, even though it doesn't have air conditioning or power windows or power locks. It's like a basic, I mean, it's a 2000 truck, right? So it was like a work truck. So, but Jay's been on me, my kids have been on me, like, you know, you should get something. And I'm like, well, maybe. And then Jay was like, well, how about you buy me a new Tesla and you take this one? And I'm like, well, let's talk about it in the spring, right? Because right now, I really don't want to take on another car payment. The insurance really isn't that bad. The insurance for our Tesla is around $200 a month. So it's like a little over $200 a month because we have the Tesla insurance. So that's a great option. Corrine, thank you for joining. See you on the next one. Appreciate it. Mud, I know. So I've been thinking, like, should I just keep the truck and fix the air conditioner? You know, I don't need the power windows and power locks. If I have the air conditioning working, what do I need to roll the windows down for? And then, you know, the locks, I mean,
rewards are instantly credited to your account and are available for immediate download.
Shave, what's going on? How you doing? Can convert the truck to an EV. That would be really cool.
Player payback rewards. You need to have a rewards card. If you don't have
I'm pretty handy and pretty technical, but I think that might be out of my range of my scope of specialties, Murakami. Well, our driving score is our driving score has been about 95 or 96 since we got it. Very rare do we have like a day where we drop below like 92, and that's usually if we're out late at night. I drive like really slow. I don't want to say slow, but I'm very energy conscious when I drive. So I'm always trying to beat the range that they tell me it's going to take to get somewhere. If it says it's going to take 10%, my goal is to get there using 8%, 9%. Now, I think my son was thinking about doing the full driving. Jay wants to do the full self-driving for when our 16-year-old gets his license. So we'll probably eventually get it, Bruce. I do like using the autopilot though, like when I'm on the highway. Oh, that would be cool, Bruce. All right, so we made it back to where we started, basically. Well, we started across the street, so we might as well end across the street at the Hard Rock. I'll give you guys one last shot at the Hard Rock. We barely looked at it on that walk back, right? You know, that's what's great is you guys have seen the Hard Rock so many times. You know, I mean, there's people who their whole content is every single day taking basically the same exact picture of the Hard Rock and posting it. Like, Hard Rock construction update. Yeah, it hasn't changed much in 24 hours. Let's check back tomorrow and see if they installed one more window. You know, I like to give like the updates when something big happens. And you know what? Something big did kind of happen. They're pretty much put all the glass in except for where they're using it to hold up the cranes and some other stuff on the other side. But they definitely have made a lot of headway here on the Mirage building with the blue glass. Some people really hate that blue glass on the Mirage. They say it's going to look like an office building, something like that. I think it's all going to come together and look spectacular, especially when those lights are going. So it looks to me like the lights, it's also going to be a light show on the Mirage. Yeah, I think the tower is a lot easier to install that glass than it was to install it on the guitar. But that does look pretty cool with the storm clouds above it. Yeah, you know, That probably is the point, and they want you to pay for it. They know you're going to do those things, Bruce. So they want you to pay for it. You know what I mean? All right. Do we get the crosswalk now? Yes. Here we go. All right. So I will flip it around so you guys can see my fluffy hair from the humidity. My hair puffs up. So as soon as I get across the street here, I'll say goodbye to you all. All right, so we are back where we started tonight, right by the Hard Rock, right behind me there. So trying to get a good selfie there. Oh, there we go. That doesn't look too bad. Maybe I'll screenshot that. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm gonna try to come out tomorrow night, actually. I don't think Jay has a lot of classes tomorrow night. So it might be a good night for me and her to come out. So I appreciate spending time with you guys, and I will see you guys on the next one. Everyone who subscribed tonight, thank you so much. Everyone who gave that thumbs up, thank you so much. Thank you for the gifts, everything. Go check out our videos, and I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow.